And good evening, everybody. This is Michael Filighera. I am with logicalsignals.com and tradershelpingtraders.com. And this is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ for Wednesday, July 28th, 2021. I've actually taken an additional step back. And what has come about, to kind of dive right in here, let me just open this up a little bit. And I have been counting this as the 5 minute waves up to complete a minor 5, which in turn completes the intermediate 5, which in turn completes primary 5, et cetera, et cetera. And suddenly it hit me that a while back, I had also discussed the possibility that the first wave of minor 5 could be the one that's unfolding and extending. So I'm keeping that as my alternate, and I'll tell you why. I came in today basically excited that, yep, this looked like it could have been 4, and we're on our way to 5, and we're on the way, up to new highs, about 51,150, and it just didn't cut the mustard. And so what it ends up leaving on the charts is 3 waves up. And that's, you can't come down all these times. And then, I mean, it could, but it's kind of leaving a 3-wave pattern up. And then this coming off is 1, and then 2 bounce, and then we just start to take a tumble. So in other words, what it really appears more like, this is the A wave, this is the B wave, and now we're going to do a C wave. Now, an ABC, and then what I call it after that, that's the point that I really want to get to. Because if this thing comes all the way down to 14,490, then yeah, that's pretty close to the bare bones bottom of where we believe it shouldn't go, right? Because that was the part where I was like, okay, it can't go below 14,644. Well, that certainly does break that, but it does not break the starting point for this, where minor 4 finishes and minor 5 begins. And again, if this is minute 1 of minor 5, it keeps upside targets firmly in place. Because I have to be honest with you, my gut's not telling me that this market is ready to roll over, and maybe roll over and play dead, but not roll over and kill on the way down. So this is why I think it's like, this is going to be very deceptive, and therefore it remains corrective, but not on that large of a scale. But we will find out sooner rather than later, I believe. So I'm going to try to count this as a C wave down. Initially, I'm looking for it to come just below where I'm going to target wave A as a completion point, and that's 14,774. So I needed to get below there. That then completes that, not necessarily a requirement, but what we necessarily look for in an ABC, where the C wave takes out the low or the high, depending on the direction, of wave A. So that's accomplished by getting down to where wave C would be equal in length to wave A. And that comes in at 14,713.25. I actually probably could have moved this over. I brought it all the way up to there, and it should have been all the way up to there. But we'll live, because it's about 3 points shy. So maybe these numbers are off by a little tiny bit. I can fix that. Hold on. Bear with me while I go ahead and do that. So its starting point was 32, and it actually is 34. Okay. So, it didn't change it all. 14,711 is where I think this can go. More importantly, though, is going to be the structure. I need to count 5 waves down. So if I'm counting 1, 2, then we're starting to drop in the third, and this NASDAQ should pick up some acceleration. because it's a 3. It's a third wave. Third waves are normally the longest and the strongest, and also where, because they're the strongest and the direction is down, I would expect acceleration to the downside. So I would think that maybe we get down to 849, 818, maybe even down to 788, heading towards that low at 774. Third wave could definitely break it. We kind of come down to a little bit of a pullback, come back up and a wave 4, and then come down in a 5, hit it there, or it continues and we get down to here, right? Because the first one, it's 100%. The second most common is 1.618 times the length of the A wave. So in that case, we're looking down here. And that fits what a wave 2 can do. So what I'm trying to do here is to build in to what we can expect or may or may not happen, but at least when it does, it still fits within the count, it still keeps upside alive, and it's still corrective within the scope of it's a minor wave going up. Okay, so I'm going to stick with that because it makes a lot of sense to me right now. But that would include changing this. Now, to be honest with you, if it doesn't break here and it stops there, and it very well could still be a 4. But anticipating then, of course, that the market is going to rally again and go up to new highs. So we have a lot of things that the market needs to prove to us. It needs to show us so that we can have a definitive count on what you're doing, market, and a definitive Fibonacci levels where we know, well, this is what we're going to expect and where it should move to here, and these are our probabilities. Right now, everything still has equal probability. And I don't particularly like being in that position, which is why I continue to say we trade what is in front of us, period. That is how you're going to make money. Today wasn't so easy, to be honest with you, because the market really went just sideways. And it got to be a pain when you're looking at this thing. Let me take it down to the 15-minute, and it's going to show it a lot cleaner. Let me bring that open. Come on. My computer sometimes just doesn't cooperate. Anyway, here we are today. Beautiful run up. I have to tell you, beautiful. You made all your money right there. But then it sold off pretty hard. And often when that happens, because you're still looking for upside, I'm looking for this thing to continue. And it just starts to break and you're long. So you end up giving a lot back. Then it doesn't follow through to the downside and they blast it all the way back up and basically almost and take over that candle. In fact, the next candle out almost did. And then it sinks back down. So this is chop. And it was very difficult. So it was up nicely, down nicely, up nicely, down ugly, up nicely. And then finally, you know, I was able to, I'm sure other people either stopped or they did much better than me. I did end up positive on the day, but I had to wait. I had to wait through all of this because even within these bars, it was very sketchy. Okay, so tomorrow, if the market continues to go up, it just puts this whole thing still in play as being corrective. And it could run back up and maybe get to that high. But I still, I don't know. I don't think that no matter what, this is not bullish to me. I can't figure out how I would turn that into a bullish 5-wave when I got this in between and then that. It doesn't fit. So that's why I have to declare this as an A, B, C, or for a B wave, or a wave 2, or however corrective number or symbol I could put there. Right now, I'm looking at it as a B wave. C wave down. 1, C's are always 5. 1, 2, we get a nice 3-wave down, should be very tradable. Hopefully it all cooperates and they do it during our session versus during Globex. Because they're easier. If we get that acceleration, you just get on board, you ride it, you make some good money as a day trader. So anyway, that's what I've been looking for, a little little bit of a, so we got 1, 2, get a third, get a little 4, get a 5, end up somewhere down close to this. And then if we need to put a 4 under, we'll put a 4 under it. If it keeps going through that, like there's no tomorrow, then we know that we're likely it's a 1 and a 2. Or it is a 1, 2, 3, and this is the larger third of an initial 5, okay, going down. So we have a lot of scenarios. We're at that point where the market needs to really tell us, but I believe we're going to find out sooner rather than later. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Next update is tomorrow.